Hi, friends. Thank you for joining today. And today we have Mangalam Harshvardhan with us. Thank you, Harsh, for taking your time and for sharing your journey and your interview experiences with us. Thank you very much on behalf of all of our students and the team at Applied AI course.
Thank you, Shrikant. Thanks for everyone in Applied AI for making this happen.
Cool, cool. So let me just give a brief introduction. So Harsha is joining as a team lead. He just got an offer. He'll be joining as a team lead in a data science and machine learning role at one of the top financial services and investment bank company in the world, which is headquartered in the US. So it's one of the top financial services and investment bank related company with billions of dollars under investment. And prior to this, Harsha worked for about 4 years, 8 months. That's roughly 4 years, 8 months at Ernst & Young and also at BNY Mellon as a financial analyst. And prior to that, you finished your MBA from Alliance University. So overall, your background is somebody who is an expert in finance with about 4 to 5 years of experience, who is transitioning into a team lead role, wherein the team will be working on data science, Python programming, visualization, and components like that, right? So again, congratulations, Harsha, for making a very successful transition, taking all your expertise in finance domain to a career in the intersection of finance and data science. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
So just also wanted to mention, Harsha completed all of the assignments with a lot of due diligence. Like he has done a terrific job. He has done all the self-case studies. So he has put in a lot of effort as a working professional. He took out time to successfully complete the course and put in a lot of effort, because since he came from a finance background, not too much focus on programming, he put in a lot of effort. And I mean, I've seen some of his assignments. I see that effort there, literally, like multiple attempts, get struggling through it, especially the initial assignments. But I think all that paid off today. So congratulations, Harsha. So first and foremost, as a working professional who has a very hectic career as a financial analyst, I just wanted to understand how you balanced your day-to-day work, all the course content, all the new things that you're learning, because they're slightly different from classical finance, right? So how did you balance all of them? How did you make the most out of course content, assignments, mentorship, self-case studies, all of that? Just wanted to understand that.
First of all, I joined the course in October 2019, second week of October. I was fortunate enough to be in a project that was very initial in its stage. So the work pressure was a little bit less, and I was thinking, what do I do for the future? So then I looked into this data science thing and I joined the course. Every day I used to spend around 2.5 hours in the morning and about another 2 to 2.5 hours in the after the office hours. So work pressure was fine until the lockdown started. Once the lockdown started, work from home, it became another kind of hectic thing as compared to office things. Yeah, for the first 16, 17 assignments, it was quite slow. It was quite not hectic. Once the lockdown started, I had to manage both the things, sitting at home at long hours. So then it took time to finish the last back end of the course. So it was fine for me. If you spend around 2-3 hours a day for 1 year, it's easy to complete the course for sure.
Harsha, as somebody who is coming from a non-IT background, somebody who's coming with an MBA background, followed by experience in finance domain for 4 to 5 years, did you face any specific challenges with the course content? Because some of the course content could involve a lot of programming, it could involve a lot of mathematics, a lot of new concepts that you have to learn from scratch. So was there any problem of that sort? And how did you overcome those problems?
I joined in October, right? So I knew Python just by looking at the YouTube videos, and some part of visualization stuff in Python were part of my day job as well. So that helped a little bit for the initial assignments. But for the deep learning things, because of the, time complexity of all the assignments, it took time for me to clear out all those things. And I had few issues with some LSTM assignments specifically. If you see my mails, basically they were in that region only. And case studies also, they were quite, I did not face much issues, even though I am coming from a non-programming background. So yeah, the
Cool.
main issues was the deep learning things. Yeah, it
Okay.
took
Okay.
time.
Because the math and programming and the
Yeah,
computation leads, all of them are heavier there. That's true.
yeah, yeah.
Cool. So, as somebody from the finance domain, right? How did you leverage your prior experience, your almost 4 to 5 years of experience in the finance domain? How did you leverage that? And how did you blend it with your learnings at Applied AI course to successfully make the transition? Because I'm sure any finance role requires a lot of domain expertise, right? It's not just mathematical know-how. So how did you blend both of these in making this successful transition?
That basically came down to the case study part. Both the case studies which I did are from finance domain with an application of some machine learning and deep learning stuff. So that helped a lot. Even in the interview, also they looked at all my code which I wrote in the case studies, and they were quite happy with it. This would be the future for any finance domain person to switch into data science. If we can automate the portfolio management things, it would be great for their career. So this is what I learned from my domain expertise.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. I've read a lot about companies like Rentec, Two Sigma, which are very heavily mathematical models with a lot of state-of-the-art deep learning. Again, I don't have much of domain expertise in finance, but these are fun to see something that I know which can be used in the finance domain. So cool, cool. So going into your interview experience, could you walk us through that? Because it could, especially students who are in the finance domain or who come from the finance background or MBA students, they might want to understand what types of interviews or what types of questions they could encounter, what all rounds you had. Can we dive deep slightly into that to understand what can be expected for somebody like you?
Yeah. Actually, the main part of my interview process was the first round, that is the exam. Like they gave some 3 hours time to finish it out. Um, they don't even give you time to prepare for it. They just called me at 5 o'clock, and 5:30 I was writing the exam. So mainly it was uh, acquiring data from different APIs using Python, and then doing some data manipulation part, and then visualizing the results, coming up with new features, new technical financial features. So most of the things which I did in that part are from a second case study. So whatever engineering I did, it was just copy paste. So yeah, it helped a lot because in the 2.5 hours time frame, I have to acquire the data, manipulate the data, visualize the data, and uh, come up with new features.
But you have a hard 3 hour deadline to finish the whole task and show them the results.
Yeah. So
Good.
I did that. So within 2.5 hours, I was able to complete it and submit it. In the interview, second round, there was only one round of face-to-face interview via Skype. I had like 5 people because since due to this lockdown thing, this COVID thing and all, it was just one round.
So this was 5 people interviewing one person simultaneously.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So one of the person is from the tech team. He was very, satisfied with the performance which I did in the Python exam. So he also mentioned that in interview. So I was quite happy with this. And they asked some technical questions which are related to structured finance.
Which is domain knowledge, expertise, and things like that.
Domain knowledge, expertise, things and all. And they asked about what are your day jobs? I mean, what is your day goes on like? And yeah, they were quite happy with it. And yeah, it went well. Yeah.
Okay. So any data visualization or data science or data related stuff that was also focused on, apart from, I completely agree that in the first round itself, you did a lot of data science heavy thing, everything from pulling the data, visualizing, coming up with new, of course, finance related features. But apart from that, in the interview, was there, the technical guy was certainly super happy. But apart from domain expertise, were there questions on data science related stuff also?
They were mainly focused on data visualization. They asked some questions about Plotly. They asked if I know about Streamlit API. I never use it, but they are fine with it. But yeah, they have models which are already pre-built inside the teams, and we are not supposed to change the weights or change anything from it. So because they have been using these models for past 6 years, so they don't want to change it. So yeah.
Cool. Sounds good. So Streamlit, we did a live session. I'm happy that you pointed this. We did a live session on Streamlit, I think a month or month and a half back, and we got some great response from our students. Some of our mentors also suggested that, hey, can we cover Streamlit so that students can actually deploy and visualize their stuff on a web UI and things like that.
Yeah.
So cool, cool. So Harsha, any suggestions you have for folks like you who are trying to transition from a core finance role to a finance plus data science role? Do you have some suggestions for them on what they should focus on, what they should learn more about? Of course, they should certainly learn the domain expertise, but apart from domain expertise, what are the key things that they should focus on?
The key things they should focus on, from my experience in this interview and the past another company's interview, is data acquisition of finance data from various APIs, and then combining them, joining them, and doing all those manipulations. This is the main thing which is focused on, because financial firms, I don't think they would be ready to build models for every 1 or 2 months, unless they know that the model is quite, they're happy with the results. They don't deploy it. So model building and deployment is not the core thing, but for the financial folks, the understanding the real-time data, coming with new features, data manipulation, all the things which we do before model building is very, very vital for financial roles. So I would suggest anybody from finance to do the case studies in by using some stock data or any kind of time series data. That would be much more helpful for their career.
Sure. I mean, I'll surely convey to the mentors who helped you that the case studies have been extremely helpful in your interviews. I'll surely convey the same to them.
Yeah, we discussed a lot about my second case study in my interview.
Oh, cool.
They were
Cool.
really going through my GitHub profile.
Oh, okay. So in your interview, which was 5:1, did they also go through your case study that you've published on your GitHub and ask you questions about it?
Yeah, they looked at the data, looked at the code and asking simultaneously, why did you do this? Why did you come up with these features?
Okay.
Where is the source for this? Yeah, all those things.
So again, just like in the other interviews, and in your first screening exam, they were more focused on the feature engineering component and the data analysis, not so much on the models and deployment itself.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool, cool. So any other suggestions, anything else that you want to add, Harsha, that I might have missed?
Just I have only one thing. Just keep on going, even if you're stuck with any assignment. Just keep on going. Don't leave the course in the middle. That's the only suggestion which I have.
Again, I see you've put in a lot of persistent effort day in and day out, and that shows that, I mean, once you get the results, it's all happy, because all of that translates to actual results. So very happy to see your progress. And it's a very nice sentence that you just made, that is, keep going, just do it. Don't get stuck in between. If you get stuck, anyway, reach out to us. We'll try and help you. Thank you, Harsha. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Srikanth. Thanks for the team, everyone in the team. Thank you. Thank you for your effort.